Now, for the first time, the system on the world is different. He teaches his followers, I am the last of the masters sent from the higher realms, and I have been given the word. What is the status of our blood? They want to know. The darkness of the dark is mixed within your blood. There's no way to avoid it. They can manipulate you if you let them manipulate you. There is no holy blood. There is no chosen people. Not anymore. Everybody's on equal footing. To think somebody's royal above anybody else, no son of Adam is above any son of Adam, and everybody on this earth is a son of Adam. Everybody on this earth is a son of Adam. All of the bloodlines are mixed. All of the others who you thought were never your tribe were always mixing from the descendants of Adam, and all of the other realms in their various times and bloodlines have all come from one. We are all the sons of Adam. Yes, the line of the prophet was kept within a specific descendant and bloodline through the sons of Adam who physically manifested through the body of Adam here on this earth. Of course, that's true too, right? Even in the physical form. And there, as a sign from Abraham, from Ishmael, not Isaac, not the 12 tribes, but the 13th, or the one, is now coming and saying the message to everybody on the earth. I am the final bearer of light. The mixing of blood has already been completed. We are already at the saturation point. We are at the point where all of the bloods are mixed. Our mission now is not to seclude our community. I have been assigned a different task. Now here is where many in the West fail to understand what point in the story we are at. By the time we get to the Prophet Muhammad now for the first time, the message becomes totally the opposite. The Prophet Muhammad, when asked, how do we now interact with the Jews or the Christians or the other races? Well, we know in the story we're saying that there are many levels of the earth. There are many other earths. There are many levels and distant journeys just on one level of manifestation or dimension, not to mention the other ones. And there are beings interacting in and out at various levels from the beginning to the end. And man, this story is detailed and complex. And so the idea that there was seclusion at any time in totality is a misunderstanding. But as a fundamental, we get to a point in the messengership where now the prophet is being tasked with something very different. He is saying that, of course, we know that by name in our chain, there have been 25 or so named prophets from Adam to the Prophet Muhammad. But in the chain of all of the sons of Adam, not just this body, but every story from every realm of every physical manifestation, there are 100,000, 25,000, 125,000 prophets to every community from every organization and civilization and pattern of every being and realm. Now, of course, many people always arrogantly think that that's all to this earth, and that's not true. That's not all to this earth. But in our story that we have the pattern of, we've gotten to the point where now we said the prophet is teaching a whole nother scenario. He tells us that of this earth, we've gotten to a certain level in my messengership. A pattern of 7, no, a pattern of 70s. That on this earth, we've gotten to the point where at least 70 plus specific communities of the light whose messengers have arrived here, have established on this earth. He said specifically. Now, many people in Islam think that the numbers are just random. We say no, everything is in a reason and for a specific pattern, and we tell you what everything means. That by the time we got into the story that the Prophet Muhammad says, the children of Israel, the Jews, those who followed Moses, are the 71st community of this earth. Those who followed the Messiah are the 72nd community, and I and my followers are the 73rd community of this earth. Now, of every community, there are those who truly followed the messenger and are upon the light and understand the meaning, and then there are those who are misguided. And so from every community, we are looking for the truth of what they have, and those who understand that message and are our brothers and sisters, and we are one with them. And those in every community, including the Muslim community, who aren't awake, or the Jewish community, or the Christian community, or any community upon this earth, we say, come on, wake up. It's happening now. Look around you. Wake up. Look around you. Can't you see the changes? Do you know the number 7? Have you heard of the number 7? So we say these changes are happening all around us. By the time we get to the Prophet, now the Prophet says, I have been assigned something else. They ask him, oh, Messenger of Allah, what have you been assigned to do with the people of the book? The Jewish community, the Christian community, the other community. Here's where the West freaks out because they don't understand what's happened. He sets a totally opposite pattern. He says, I am marrying into every other family. Now, for the first time, the false families who thought their blood was royal, and now it is to be preserved and kept and secluded. No. Now the Prophet says, we have gotten to the point where we have been given the truth, and now it is to spread to everyone, and I am going to marry from others, and he is encouraging us to marry from Ahl al-Kitab as well. Of course, to marry Muslim first, but the idea of marrying more than one wife, even from Islam. Now, in a world or a situation where you have slaves or beings at different realms or tiers of society, of course, then you have also the concept of procreating multiple children. Now, in Islam, when you have a woman who is your milk al-yamin, your right-hand possession, in a society that had physical possession of slavery instead of prostitution slavery rings as a method that we have now, in other societies, in many other worlds, they have different tiers of awakening and different beings at different realms. But in Islam, children of even a slave are born free. But the idea was always to promote procreation, the mixing of the races, the mixing of the blood. That we have gotten to a point in the story where now we should encourage the intermixing of the races, the intermixing of the species, the intermixing of all the different colors and genes. Because we're getting to a point where that which gets more intermixed is better for the development of mankind and society. And the Prophet ﷺ comes with the total opposite training, because now we have come to a fundamental change in the story of man. And the Prophet is preparing us for a totally different journey, where all of the races from all of the other realms are gathering together. Now, here is something that you didn't know. Beings from other dimensions are not coming to this dimension. We are rising up to them. But beings from this dimension who have been seeking the light from all of the ages prior to us in time to this age have been looking for the place of ascension. and have been looking for the planet that will turn to the light and beings from there will ascend.